Pisces here. Get ready to flow. Let's dive deep with Pisces Tarot. Your business is my business. I see every ache, every kiss, the push, the pull, the silent cries. I'm exposing all the lies, revealing the hidden truth. With me, you have the proof. Your business is my business. True. Welcome to Pisces Tarot. True.
Hey, welcome to Pisces Tarot, everybody. I am your host. I am Mimi Lightseer, and around here, your business is my business. And ooh, child, we are going to get into somebody's business today. Yes. When I tell you guys that this is an interactive experience, that means that your participation is greatly appreciated, okay? That means when I tell you to engage, y'all, because your energy fills the room, all right? So drop your emojis, answer the reflective questions that are being asked, and don't be shy in the comments, okay? Your participation is deeply appreciated, okay? So I want to encourage you right now to go ahead and grab your notebook, pen, or your paper, even your notes app, whatever you need to help write down what Spirit reveals today. But before we dive in, I want to give you that quick reminder that I am booking one-on-one readings, but the spots are limited. So if Spirit is nudging you to join, go ahead. This is your confirmation, and book your reading today at PiscesTarot.com. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss a download, a live, or a tea session with Spirit. Now, if y'all ready to get into it, let's set the vibes. Who is ready? I want you to go ahead and put a star in the chat if you're ready to get this show on the road, y'all, okay? I promise you, this is a positive, fun experience. We family over here, and this is an energetic reunion. So I just want to say welcome, and let's get this show on the road. Here we go. Now, before we get started, I always recommend that we ground ourselves and align our energy to make sure that we're in the positive space to receive and that we're able to hear what Spirit has for us, okay? And this grounding keeps us not only present, but it also protects our energy. So cleansing in a way that we are not carrying into this reading any energy that is not ours. And it allows Spirit's energy to come through not only to me, but to you crystal clear, okay? And it's almost like tuning your radio, all right? You want to make sure that you got it just right, all right? So we're going to clean the air with our girl, Boo Boo, over here. And we're going to take in a deep breath, okay? We want to inhale clarity and light. We want to hold it, and we want to release any tension or distractions, okay? All right, let's clean the air first. Divine White Light, you are welcome here to come through and to communicate to me, through me, to the people that are going to be here past, present, and in the future. Okay? We welcome you into this space. We thank you for the clarity that you're bringing, and we are ready to get into this thing. Here we go. Now, always remember that this is a sacred space, but it does get spicy up in here. So if spirit comes for your edges today, just know that you're not alone. All right. Also, if you're ready to get into this reading, go ahead and put a cooking emoji in the chat, because it is time for us to cook up and see what spirit has for us. All right, here we go. Now, before I dive into any session, I always pay attention to the energy that is coming to me. And I have a little bit of an earworm as well as divine insight, okay? And I was noodling on how to package this up for you because it's two things, right? And I was like, really like, okay, spirit, like what are we doing? So I was driving down the street about an hour ago, and spirit told me, as I looked at some strangers who were walking down the street. So I don't know these people, they're neighbors that I'm not familiar with. And I looked at them, and spirit said, you got to be careful with who you talk to and who you befriend. Not every conversation is innocent. And I was like, well, where did that come from? Because I'm not talking to anybody. I'm just driving down the street, right? And spirit said, but yeah, sometimes you just be friendly. Not me, but people, right? We're just friendly people. We're talkative. Like you go to a bar, you spin up conversation with somebody, and you never know what they're processing about you, what they're taking away, what information you're giving. You think it's innocent conversation. And these people weaponize your sharings with them, right? You're just making conversation. You're just being, sociable, right? Or you think that you're making a friend, right? And you volunteer information that may seem innocent, but it's really not. So let me give you an example of how this actually happened to me around Thanksgiving. I was at a hotel bar, and well, not the hotel bar. I was at a restaurant by the hotel, and I mentioned that I was going to leave that particular restaurant and go over to the hotel bar and, just socialize and whatnot. And this particular guy was trying to approach me, and his energy was just off. Okay. But I was sociable. I was polite. I wasn't, condescending, off-putting. I wasn't belittling or anything like that. I just told him repeatedly, because he was very forceful, right? I said, you can do whatever you're going to do, but I'm going back over here to this hotel and going to the bar. And so long story short, the man leaves. He scuffs off. And so I'm thinking that this situation is over. Do y'all know, I go to my hotel and I am downstairs, right? I didn't even go straight to my room, but I'm downstairs. And lo and behold, guess who I see over there at the hotel bar looking for me? It was this weirdo. Okay. So that's an example. And while that was very frightening, that's an example of how at times, you think you're having an innocent conversation with somebody, and people take this information and they weaponize it against you, right? And social media is notorious for that, okay? Now, why am I sharing this with you? Because as soon as I finish this thought with spirit, I get this earworm in my ear. And I'm like, what in the world is it about Mariah Carey today? Because this is the second live I've done today, in which this is the second time she's come through in my energy. Okay. This is off of her Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel, which is one of my favorite Mariah Carey albums, let me tell you. Okay. But the song is number 6 on the album, and it's called Inseparable. Okay. And it goes something like this. It says, lost without my other half. How can I live without you? I don't want another. That's why I'm messed up about you. Can't even dream without seeing you. Why should I even breathe? And everything is off without you. I guess it's all my fault. Lady sings the blues. No one can deny it. We were flying like united. Thought we never be divided because the love we had inside of us was inseparable. Okay. And so as I'm sitting here processing it, spirit starts showing me somebody has been talking too much to their friends about what was going on in their relationship. And because you have volunteered so much information, you're thinking it's innocent conversation. You're just having girl talk, or you're just having barbershop talk, right? Whatever your gender is and however it goes, You're volunteering critical details about your relationship to people that are not your friends, and they're using this information against you. Okay. So what does this have to do with the reading? That's the foundation. Okay. And we're going to actually dig into this. So if this does something for you, I want you to go ahead and drop right now in the chat what emoji that reflects how you truly feel, because someone may have had loose lips that sunk a ship. Okay. Some people don't like gossip, right? And they may feel like you talked a little bit too much. All right. So if y'all ready to get into this, I want you to go ahead and put your favorite emoji in the chat, because it's time for us to get into the overall energy reading. Here we go. All right, so let's check the undercurrent and see what the overall vibe is, okay? Because I kind of gave you a snippet of what I'm picking up on, but let's find out. Let's talk to the cards and see what's going on here. Spirit, what's the overall energy for this reading? That's funny. At the bottom of the deck, exposed and revealed, okay? Exposed and revealed. But you see that all-seeing eye? You see the eye? Somebody's watching, for sure. Okay? Into me, I see. Into me, I see. This is about intimacy. Okay. And what I didn't mention, and I started to when I pulled that other card out, wherever it went, when you look at that eye, if you look closely, if I could find it quickly, I will show you. Inside that eye, if you look into the eyeball, you can see a person like in fetal position, almost laying naked. Yeah, I can't find it that quick. But that is reflective of the intimacy, right? That comes with building. Here it is. Okay. So look at that. You see the pose? You see the pose here? Okay. Where there's someone laying there in a fetal position, right? When you think about exposed and revealed, that's like a nakedness of a person, right? The most vulnerable pieces of you, the most intimate gatherings of you. Someone is looking into you, I see. And whether this is you looking into you and reflecting, but into me, I see. Okay. If you think about it quickly, it's a form of intimacy, whether this is you evaluating you, reflecting your life, and or reflecting other things. Okay. This is about a reflection, but also acknowledging that you were a part of the problem. Hey, Dominique, welcome. Long time. All right. So what is the truth that we need to hear on our journey? What is the truth that we need to know? Yes, it is. It's a wolf full moon too. First full moon, super moon. A lot of emotions running high. All right. What is the truth that we need to hear right now for our journey? Keeping things to yourself, okay, is going to be very important. Loneliness. I know that I am never alone, okay? We have loneliness popping up here. I know that I am never alone, okay? Ironically, we're talking about this, and we're also talking about the song Inseparable, okay? Thinking that someone would never be able to walk away, and they did. Dealing with that loneliness, dealing with the grief, dealing with the heartache and the processing, which is also going back to that into me, I see. Okay. So this is a very vulnerable time for either you or for your partner right now. Okay. Or the person that we're thinking about. All right. Or you're thinking about. Let's see what the guides of the hidden realms have to say. I also want to call out the fact that we're talking about the color blue. It's a lot of blue going on here. Okay. So when we think about blue, think about the chakras that we're talking about, okay? Throat chakra, Now, why is that in here? And that's funny. Envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. The envy card came out. So remember I told you guys that with the communication and you're thinking that you're having idle conversation, you may have talked too much to a person who was envious of you and was envious of your relationship. And that could have possibly played a part. I'm going to put that to the side because I was not intentionally trying to pull that card. Here goes another blue card. Okay. Rise to the occasion. Okay. A lot of blue energy coming through. This is about your capability, your strength, authenticity, and your free will. Okay. What you gonna do? Now you here now, sweetheart. What you gonna do? How do you process this and be able to move on? Do you eat the fact that possibly you are the reason or your partner is the reason for the demise of the relationship? They talk too much. They overshared. Okay. Thinking that this is idle conversation. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit says you definitely talk too much. You shared something that was very personal with a sacred resource, or either if it's not you, it's the other person. Remember, over here at Pisces Tarot, I tell you about both sides. Okay. So it's not just lopsided, it's both perspectives. Okay. But regardless to who it was, okay, you have someone who confided in you something very personal, something that they didn't want to have shared, something they didn't want to have broadcasted. And you thought that it was nothing, it was innocent, just having idle conversation, being sociable, and overshared something that was so sacred. And we have to remember that relationships are personal. And in this world, this climate that we're in, people definitely overshare way too much. And it's not about being private, I should say, or protective. It's not about like, oh, I can't tell nobody because it's a secret. It's not about being secret. It's just private. Everybody doesn't need to know everything. Okay. How is this showing up for us, Spirit? And I will tell you, this person that we're talking about was very disappointed in how you handled it, or the person who over communicated, how they handled it. Yeah, they were definitely disappointed. They thought that they had a very trustworthy situation with you. Ooh, they're mad. They're big mad. I started to feel a fire in my chest. This person is very upset with the fact that this information was leaked. Okay. They did not want anybody knowing this. It was that personal. It feels like whatever they were going through could have been a health scare of some sort. Okay. So, or a health concern, I should say, not necessarily a scare, but a concern. If this was a private, confidential matter that came out, ascension tension, okay? Ascension tension. You thought you were doing the work, trying to move up, trying to be progressive in your relationship, developing this, nurturing it. And now all of a sudden you're having tension that came out of nowhere. This was a very wonderful relationship, I should say, leading up to this. This was very warm, very engaging, very promising. And so this breakup definitely came left field. It was not anticipated. And it was like serious. Once the break happened, it was very serious. That's why I keep hearing Mariah Carey's song Inseparable, because leading up to this, you guys were peas in a pod. Okay, leading up to this, you were definitely peas in a pod. And now that's not the case. Now that's not the case, which is not good. Okay, what is a sign that this may be for you? What is a sign that this may be about you or for you? All right, let's see. Fences. See, I told you it's about boundaries. Okay, You overshared, you or your person overshared some information that was not supposed to get out. And this was a boundary of theirs. Now, I don't know necessarily if they told you that they don't like this. I feel like they may have shared with you that they don't like gossip. They don't like people in their business. They have told you this. It's not they may have, they told you this. So if you're seeing a lot of fences, particularly white picket fences, this reading is for you. Okay? This reading is for you. Oh, all right. Let me keep going. So now we are looking at some insights about the situation. Let's get some deeper specifics other than the gossip, okay? Yeah, you thought you were moving up. Thought this was going to be your forever, ever, 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 ever. And then all of a sudden it came to a screeching halt. All right. So we have no. It is not the right time. No, it is not the right time. I'll tell you why this is interesting. Because if you've ever heard this record before, and if not, I encourage you to go back and listen to it. But if you listen to the song, Mariah Carey is saying, especially towards the end, one of us just got to pick the phone up. And you have been thinking about picking up the phone and calling. You definitely have been thinking about reaching out to this person, and Spirit said, nope, now is not the time. Okay, now is not the time. What is the T? What is the T? And I know for you guys that may be new to Pisces Tarot, this may not make any sense to you. Bear with me. I promise you, I'm going to make it make sense in a minute. Impersonator, okay? Wants to be like you, acts like, dress like, looks like you, copies you. Okay, so there was definitely someone who was envious. Okay, remember the envy card came out as well earlier. We definitely have someone around that was envious. Perhaps you have somebody around you that was pretending to be a friend, envious, going back and telling all your business. They trusted you with something, you trusted them with something, and then they just told everybody. That could be it too. Yeah. I'll tell you what, this was devastating. For the person who had to abandon this relationship, this was devastating. They haven't had this openness or this closeness with anybody in a long time. Okay? They have not had that. So to be in this space with you and learning that you betrayed their trust is kind of crazy. Cuffing season, single and ready to mingle, ready for a relationship, out on the hunt. Okay, so somebody is on the prowl. Okay, either this is you or this is your person. I don't know. You know, it is kind of in the middle of the dead of winter. We'll find out who that is specifically. When we look into the broken mirror, what do we see? Push pull, power struggles, imbalance, and stubborn. Okay, so somebody may be at the point where they are definitely being stubborn, but this is a power struggle. Okay, again, you have one person who wants to try to reconcile, try to repair, and this is not the time. We've already discussed that. This person really does not want to hear from you right now at all. They're very disappointed about what happened at this time. Okay, they didn't see this coming. And they definitely didn't see this coming from you. What lies beneath all of this? Okay. Game over. And look at this very carefully. You see that heart on the floor? Okay, on the ground? Game over. Yeah, they want out. Mm-mm. And when I say there, it could be you, it could be them. I'll let you know in a sec who they are. But one or both of you, this is a dead end, okay? What's the true emotion here, Spirit? The true emotion. All right. We have left you hanging, no closure, no contact, left you on red. Okay. So they possibly just upped and abandoned this situation. They possibly upped and just abandoned it. Like, may have got off the phone with you, told you they'll talk to you later, and that was that. Like, abruptly left this situation without warning. Like, no conversation, no talking about it, like just stonewalled you. All right, Spirit, what is the yin and yang here? Okay. Truth, expression, a new perspective, seeing the truth, clear action, honesty, trust in communication. Okay. So this goes back to that self-reflection. All right. Into me, I see. Recognizing that the person who may have let the cat out the bag was truly indeed the person who was wrong in this instance, in this situation. All right. What's blocking this situation, Spirit? What is blocking this situation? Okay. Rushing. You can't hurry love. The right one is coming in the perfect divine timing. Okay. So this is kind of an indicator, right? That this may not be the forever ever that you thought this once was. Okay. Once you or that person possibly thought. All right. So let's look to see who is who. We got some insights about what's going on. Let's see who's who. Person A. I think person A is the person who's dealing and reconciling with the truth that they were the one that was wrong. Okay. Looking into themselves, reflecting, learning how to manage their loneliness, learning how to rise to the occasion and purposing themselves to move on. Okay. You can't force people to want to be with you, even though it seems so perfect and it was whatever it was. People have free will. Okay. And nothing is permanent. Okay. So this could be about you rushing into something or trying to expedite their healing journey as it pertains to you or this situation. But if they never forgive you, that's cool too. I know that seems kind of petty, but people do have their boundaries and they do have their deal breakers, right? So if this were truly a deal breaker for this particular individual, just cut your losses and learn from it and move on. But we will look further into that, right? I'm just speaking as we go through this. I think that you're also dealing with the push-pull, okay, instance with this, that this is something that you're not used to. You're definitely wanting to converse and try to reconcile this, and this person is not trying to hear it. Okay. As a result, they left you hanging. Okay. They left you hanging. No closure, no contact, left you on red. Okay. And it's supposed to say read, but it says red. Person B, for them, this game is over. Okay. No, they don't want to talk to you. They're kind of out mingling and networking, doing their thing. And they got somebody else that's similar to them. And I'm curious to know if person A, if you are going to be meeting somebody else that reminds you of this person. Let's look into this. Spirit, whose business are we about to get into? Whose business are we about to get into? If you're watching and this message is resonating with you, I want you to go ahead and put your energy down. If you are a fire sign, go ahead and put the fire sign in the chat. If you are an earth sign, put the earth sign. If you are a water sign, enter the water sign. And if you are an air sign, put the cloud. I want to know whose business we're finna get into. And in meanwhile, let's find out who are we talking about here? All right, guys. So let's see. That ain't gonna work. That's way too many cards, Spirit. Okay. Spirit, who is person A in all of this? Who is person A? Okay. Person A is a Gemini. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Is a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Y'all came up this morning in the reading. What is going on with my water signs? Your energy, your foundational energy is coming in as a King of Cups. This is emotionally balanced, compassion, diplomatic, control, balanced, supportive leader, tolerant, and empathetic. So this goes back to where you are with your feelings right now, trying to reconcile, trying to repair this, trying to be diplomatic, trying to apologize, trying to explain to them, you know, you didn't really fully understand that this was going to be a really big deal to them. Apologize, let them know you're sincerely sorry, you know, all those things of that nature. And person B in this connection is an earth sign. They are coming in as the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, which is lack of long-term vision, limited success or reward, work without results, and distractions. Remember, I told you they might be already out looking for some. All right, so what is going on, Spirit? What is going on? Now, when I use the cards, I'm literally using the cards to confirm what Spirit has revealed to us earlier, okay? I want you to put down in the chat what energies feel more like you, okay? If you are in alignment with the water signs, go ahead and drop your water signs in the chat. And if you are on the side of or feeling more so like this earth sign, go ahead and put the earth sign in the chat. Please keep in mind, this is so important. I am telling both sides of the story, okay? So you may be the earth sign and feeling like person A. It can be integrated. I am just literally reading generally and take what resonates with you, okay? So Spirit, what is our water signs current energy? What is their present energy? Okay. Person A, the water sign and all of this. Oh, you're coming in as a Five of Wands in reverse. Okay. You feel real beat down right now. Like, I don't know why I just heard Mariah. I don't know what is going on with Mariah Carey. I have no idea, but it is like, I just heard break down. It's not funny. I am not laughing at your pain. Okay, let's be clear. I am not laughing at your pain, but this is very depressing, if you will. This is you feeling very worn down by this, very bothered by this. Again, in your mind, when this situation unfolded, you did not see this as being a big deal. This was something that was very innocent. This was not intentional. And this was one of those things where it's like, I simply did not know that this was going to really impact you and affect you the way that it did. Okay. So this is a very hard lesson for you, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I sincerely feel bad for you if you are aligned with person A. I definitely feel bad for you because this is very hurtful. The way that this person abandoned you and cut you off, is like record speed timing. You know, like when people break up and go through things, like usually there's a drawback period, but they simply withdrew. Like there was nothing. It was just a hard, all of a sudden they just stopped responding to your texts. They're not returning your phone calls. They're ignoring, like all of the things. It was just crazy.
Goodbye.
All right. Person B, what is their present energy, spirit? What is the earth sign dealing with today? Where is this earth sign's energy? We got the Two of Swords. Okay. They are very clear about where they are with this situation. They have no desire to reconcile. I told you, no is not the time. The game is over. Like they are so far removed from this situation. It's not even funny. And the sad part is, it's like, you didn't even give this person the benefit of the doubt. You know, in relationships in today's world, first of all, in any time period, nobody is perfect, okay? But in today's world, everybody goes through these microwave relationships. You expect for there not to be flaws. You expect for there not to be error. You expect for people to be perfect. And if you're not communicating and really having those detailed conversations about what your deal breakers are, about where you, like, you can just hint at something. And some people are just inarticulate and poor communicators, right? They may hint at something and say, you know, I don't really like when people be in my business, or I'm just private, you know, like I don't do social media, you know, I don't really talk to a whole bunch of people. I don't have a lot of people in my business. But let's be honest, okay? Person B strikes me as a person who likes to go off the grid so that they can't be tracked or traced anyway. Okay. So they're intentional about being very inconspicuous in how they move. Okay. So when they are exposed, in which this was not your intention of how this came across, but when they are exposed, okay, they're very emphatic about, no, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to talk to you. I don't need to talk to you. I told you I don't move like that. And you violated whatever it is that I shared with you. And because of that, I'm just going to take this as an L and move on. And this is going to be your bad. And this is on you. Not knowing that this could be fixed. Okay. Interesting. The Judgment card just fell out. I was going to shuffle to find out, you know, what is favorable about this situation, and the Judgment card came out. So they definitely made a split decision. They decided that they were not interested in trying to repair this. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. But they also have made up their mind. They've made up their mind. They decided that this is what I don't want to do. So what I'm picking up now is that person A thought that they had a more robust relationship than what they really had, is where I'm going with this, based on the current energy. Okay. Person A, you might have been a little delulu. Okay. You might have started counting everything. And look, the Death card just came out, as well as the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah. It's a rebirth. It's a renewal of some sort. This was not supposed to be long term. I hate to say it. This was not supposed to be long term. This is why we got the Russian card. And this is also why you're doing this self-reflection and balancing your loneliness and learning the difference about learning how to process boundaries and respect people's boundaries. This is a lesson learned for you, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This is a lesson learned for you. Spirit, what is favorable about this situation? What is most favorable? We got the Seven of Wands in reverse. This exposed a weakness of yours. I hate to say it. This has exposed two things about you, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. One, I hate to say it, you have been very naive and very gullible when it comes to the people that's in your life. And because of that, this is forcing you to look at your boundaries in a different way. Okay, this is about you looking at things in a whole different perspective. Okay, this is forcing you to think about things. Okay, this is forcing you to really think about things from a different perspective. And it is interesting because oddly enough, while this is hurtful and disappointing to you, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, this is also getting you to think about things differently, to teach you not to be so trusting of not only the people that you're in relationships with, but also the people that you're communicating with. Okay, so I'm still standing by the fact that there was something disclosed to you from this earth sign that you were not supposed to share with someone else. That's first and foremost. With that, with you sharing that information, okay, Christy says, like, right out of my life. Yeah, with you sharing that information, this is also about you being overly invested with people that are not necessarily viewing you in the same light. This is not being reciprocated. Okay. So just because somebody, and I'm going to tell you, as a Pisces, I had to learn this lesson. Just because I'm kicking it with somebody and I'm seeing you consistently and frequently doesn't necessarily mean that they want to lock me down the way that I'm locking them down in my mind. To me, you're my man, you're my man, you're my man, you're my man, because we're spending all of this time together. And as the song highlighted, we're inseparable. But in this other person's mind, like, you just cool enough to kick it. So now that you've done something, you have offended this person, and you didn't even know that you was offending this person, but you've offended this person, and they're like, no, you know what? I'm cool. Game over. I don't need to talk to you no more. I'm good. I'm back outside for the streets. I want you, if you can relate to this, I want you to write down in a chat how this is something that, if you really look at the situation objectively, I want you to comment in the chat how this benefits you. Like, what lesson are you learning about this situation? Are you learning to be a little bit more secretive? Are you learning, excuse me, are you learning not to be so trusting? Like, what exactly is going on there? Okay. Now, I was going to shuffle to look at what's consequential about this, and this card popped right on out. The Four of Swords. So what has benefited you is that this has made you feel very, very fragile, very, very vulnerable, giving you that time so that you could take a step back and look at yourself and reflect. Learn about yourself, learn lessons on how to improve and how to be a better man, woman, he, she, they, them, whatever your pronouns are, you know, how to be a better individual, how to show up wholeheartedly in your relationships. And this is advising for you to really take a step back and to do just that. It's time for you to pull back. Stop rushing. And I mean, that pulling back is here too with the truth as well. This truth expression card, talking about new perspectives and seeing the truth and hearing things with honesty, being honest with yourself. But then we also have the warning here not to rush moving forward. Don't rush love. Don't rush into anything. You got to slow down.
Hell no. What did you say? Hell no.
What did she say?
Spirit is telling you, you got to slow down. It's nothing wrong with being open and optimistic and looking forward and being hopeful. But you want to have that energy for all the right reasons with the right people. And just because these people are showing you things, it's a lot of imposters out here. It's a lot of people that cloak themselves as being X, Y, and Z, but they're really A, B, and C. Excuse me. So this is teaching you, how to not be on autopilot. Stop being so assuming. This is trying to teach you how to break a cycle within you. Even though it came through this unfortunate circumstance of the demise of this relationship, that's what Spirit is trying to get you to see. Stop fighting for people who ain't fighting for you. If they can walk away from you that easily, or better yet, if they can live their life without you and not spend a block, not even check in, they just move right on with their lives as the cards are suggesting this person is doing, they never had those feelings that you have for them, for you. You were over invested in this relationship. That's what I'm gathering. What is this trying to teach you? You got to make better choices and better decisions. Everything that's gold or glitters isn't gold. And I know that that's a hard pill to swallow, right? But let's be honest. A lot of us get all excited about the possibility and the connection and being able to be around somebody who makes you feel good and gives you the warm and the fuzzies, and y'all spending all the time together and y'all kick in. And the moment that there is a breakdown in a relationship, the moment that there is a conflict, people don't have basic conflict resolution skills. It's cute when y'all having initial conversations and people are like, oh, how do you handle conflict? But pay attention to what they say in that conversation and watch their behaviors the moment that you will have conflict. Because you will have conflict. It can be a basic disagreement. It can be a basic choice and preferences. It can be anything. Like, conflict is imminent in a relationship. That's what makes relationship hard. And relationships do not have to be romantic. They can be platonic. I mean, think about all the people that you go to work with that you don't like, and you have conflict where they get on your nerves. You have to work through those situations. And on the streets, we call it politics, right? But in relationships, these are breakdowns that can be very damaging to the bond. And as I said this morning, without communication, there can't be any trust. And without trust, there is no communication. Those two things go hand in hand. So what this is trying to teach you, Pisces, is that don't get all excited when you see all of these things lining up and it feels like this person is checking your boxes. Sometimes you need to take a hard sit back and reflect and take your time. Because a lot of times we're just jumping into things, not understanding that if you would have done your due diligence just a little bit more, you would have seen these things that could be in potential downfalls or pitfalls. So I know that may not be what you want to hear in terms of what this is trying to teach you, but you do have a way to move forward from this. And I know as water signs, especially as a Pisces, we love to live in our head. We'll have a whole fantasy, a whole scenario ain't true, a whole truth that ain't true. What do you need to do to heal? The Queen of Swords in reverse. I literally just said to you, you can't get all excited for the warm and fuzzies, because all that glitters isn't gold. And here we are having to process in order for you to heal that everything is not what you think it is. I just mentioned how people can cloak themselves and represent themselves as being friendly, as representing themselves as being down for the cause or being here for you. And they don't have that intention at all. They don't have that intention at all. So you have to process the fact that while this person abandoned you, while this person let you down, while this may be disappointing because it was a frivolous mistake on your behalf to share what you were not supposed to share, but to them it was a big deal. And this is a sign. Spirit is showing you that this person really was not who you thought they were all along. I hate to say that, but really, Spirit is showing you this person was all talk.
I did.
You know, sometimes people can show you better than they can tell you, but God can reveal more to you. And that's what he did. God just showed you. This person was pulling the wool over your eyes. They was representing themselves as being open and available and willing and capable. Look, we got the Lovers in reverse. Yeah. What do you need to do? Let this go, because this ain't moving on. This ain't moving further at all. I told you this wasn't going nowhere when no, it's not the time, and game over with the heart. This person is not whatever they told you they were, whatever they were building up to with you. They were not sincere at all. At all. And I think that as you sit back and reflect and go through your healing process and dealing with the grief, I think Spirit is also going to start to reveal this to you. You know how sometimes once you get out your feelings, you get up out your feelings and you really start to objectively look at things, you start to really see people for who they really are and what they really are about. And let's be honest, had you not made that simple misstep, this was going to stall out anyway, because this person is not serious. This person was just looking for somebody to hang out with. It's cuffing season. It's cold outside. They was just want somebody to get through the winter with. They wasn't looking for the long term. And I feel like they also had slipped up and said this to you as well. At some point or another in the conversation, they did reveal that to you. But I think that you just glossed over it because you were so happy that, again, you had somebody that you can talk to. You had somebody that you could spend time with. This wasn't just simply about you being, booed up. This gave you a sense of purpose. This gave you something to do. So that's what's making it so disappointing for you that they're handling this way. Yeah, we got the Strength card in reverse. So it's a lot of vulnerabilities here is where I'm going with this, folks. It's a lot of rawness. This definitely had a purpose. This definitely had a purpose. This was definitely coming to teach you that you can't be so naive. You can't be so gullible and to jump up at everything that looks like it's what you want. You have to require that people put in some effort and labor. You have to make people earn you. Earn your trust. Earn your loyalty. Earn your love. And what you were doing was just giving it to them willingly and freely because this is what you thought you wanted. And the moment you showed a crack in your foundation, was the moment they was like, yeah, I'm good. Mm-mm,
A few moments later.
I'm good. They didn't even give you a chance. And they're not going to give you a chance. That's the sad part. That's actually kind of messed up. If you don't ask me, I mean, if you ask me, it's kind of messed up because people are imperfect. People are going to make mistakes over and over again. That's the true definition of love. To continue to love somebody despite their flaws, despite their mistakes, and continue to wake up each and every day to say, I choose to be here for you. I choose to love you through these things. I choose to work on these things. To me, that's what that is. And the person said, I don't want that. So let's look at what else is going on underneath the surface, okay? We got some ideas about what's going on currently, but let's look at what else is going through the surface on the surface level, shall we? All right, Spirit, I want to know now, as we take this deeper dive, okay, I want to look at more so what you are trying to reveal through this very important hidden motive, unseen layer, and help us get to the real aha moments, okay? I want you to really pay attention because these clarifiers do not play around, all right? So why can I shuffle? I would like to know, why was this incident so important? Why was this incident so important? We got the Queen of Wands in reverse. The Queen of Wands in reverse. Well, I'll tell you. Unfortunately, I don't know where y'all from, but I know where I am. They keep on doing fireworks that sound like doggone pews. Okay. So anyway, the Queen of Wands is here. And I asked the question, why was this incident so important? Well, part of it is they lost interest. They simply lost interest. And what I'm gathering, thank you, Spirit. Spirit says they were kind of starting to backpedal to begin with. So they were looking for an out. They were looking for an out. Wow. This person was playing you. This person was playing you. Let me look at this. Because now I'm curious, like, why were they playing you? What was the game here? Spirit, reveal to me why this person was why was this earth sign trying to play this water sign? Okay. We got the Hermit in reverse as well as the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. So what Spirit is telling me, this person that we're talking about, this earth sign, might have just came out of relationship prior to you, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And they were not trying to jump right into a new offer with somebody else. They were not trying to jump into anything serious, which goes back to cuffing season, being single and ready to mingle. You know how sometimes you meet people and they real cool and you get real excited and, you know, you wasn't looking for nothing serious, but all of a sudden it becomes something serious. And this person had the realization when they had to confront their feelings and emotions about the slip up, when they had to confront themselves to say, okay, is this even really worth it? They realized that they was in way too deep themselves. They weren't trying to do this. So this is why they lost interest. They may have started trying to pull back also leading up to this. Like starting to put space there. And I swear to you, Spirit keeps saying they made a comment to you that made your ears stand up. And it was kind of like, well, what did you mean by that? And they wouldn't repeat it. But they definitely said something to you, letting you know you were getting too close and that's not what they were looking for.
Oh.
Why else were they getting bored of this Pisces? 3 of Wands. They don't know what they want right now. They looking to have fun. Okay? This earth sign was looking for a fun time. Not a long time. That's why they're so upset with you. Because you ran your mouth, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You told somebody something. You may have told them, a friend, that you were dating them, and they didn't want their business getting out there like that because they're dating multiple people. And they're still trying to figure out what they're doing. They're not really looking to be tied down right now. They're trying to find their way. Remember, I told you they just came out of a relationship with somebody else. They weren't looking to get into nothing serious right away. But here we are in this serious, very serious situation. And it's like, this is not what I was trying to do at all. But here we are. I'm just going with the flow. You cool enough to kick it. We like weave and glue. We like gel polish and acrylic. And the moment you showed issue, they was like, you know what, I'm cool. That was their sign. It was time for them to leave this alone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Happy New Year. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. So let's see. I have here. All right. Let's see. I did something. I'm sorry, y'all. I just did something and lost my chat. But thank you so much for the $20. I really do appreciate it. I can't see. I apologize. If you sent me a super chat, I can't see it. I just see the $20. So I just want to say thank you so much for the gift. And I really do appreciate it. Now, another reason why this particular situation is not moving forward is because I'm going to be honest with you. Remember I told you this person don't know what they want? They're trying to figure out what is going on with their lives. Okay? They want to be able to make swift decisions. They want to be able to, I just literally said they wanted to be able to go with the flow. Now this is making me mad. I'm mad on your behalf, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. They wanted to have their options. They wanted to pick and choose. Again, they're single, ready to mingle. They were enjoying their options. But I'm going to be honest, what's kind of funny, while this person wants to have their options, they don't like everybody like they liked you. Ain't that interesting? That's why they were coming towards you. This is why they were always around you, because they enjoyed you. They enjoyed you. And you just ate it right on up. Thinking you made it to the cuffing season playoffs. With Valentine's Day coming up, yeah. That's why they pulled back too. What is there? What was their intentions or motives? We got the 9 of Wands in reverse. They weren't trying to build nothing. When I tell you they weren't trying to build nothing, they weren't trying to do nothing. The moment I literally just said this, the moment you showed a crack in your foundation, the moment they were presented with an obstacle or a challenge, they said, you know what, I'm good. And they just cut this situation off, right on off, and walked away. Let's look at this person's. I want to know exactly what they're feeling, because I know that we've already discussed that they are very clear about where they stand. But I want to know, Spirit, how does this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, what are their thoughts right now towards this Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio? Well, this card just fell out. Told you, the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups. They weren't trying to get into nothing serious. They was not trying to offer you their heart, their love, their feelings. They weren't trying to do nothing. Which is disappointing. Because it's just like, who asked you for this? You brought this on your own. They're okay with the endings. They okay. Because with this King of Swords, honey, they were not who you thought that they were. Okay? They put in a lot of thought to this. Very strategic, I should say. But they too cool for school. They don't care about your feelings. This person is a butthole. Okay? They too old for this. So now that we know this, the question then becomes, now what? All right, now what? Where do we go from here? What do you do now? Okay? Because I mean, like, this is just kind of bonkers. So let's look at the final outcome for real with this, because I think we kind of know where we are with this, but let's look at the final outcome. Because I mean, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, if I were you, I wouldn't want to be chasing somebody who don't want me. I would just be like, okay, cool. But your feelings are involved. And that's where you have to get up out of your feelings and look at what you could be doing differently. That's where I keep going back to Spirit is talking about you. It's time for you to take a step back and to reflect on you. Stop oversharing your dreams and your aspirations. Oh, let's hold that. Oh, Spirit, you coming through. Let's hold that, because let's close this out. Here we go. I can only suggest to you what Spirit has shown me. And one thing that Spirit was starting to say as I had to put a pin there is that this is your reminder to stop oversharing what you want out of people, because people morph. You know, people prey on your heart. People do prey. It seems so lame, but they do it. They see your heart. Oh, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We've all known somebody who is a serial dater. They can't be alone. They're always sucking up in somebody else's face. They always taking advantage of the good girls or the good guys, but have no intentions on doing them right, have no intentions on advancing them, have no intentions on marrying them, settling down with them, etc. Right? So Spirit is saying, when you meet people and you start getting to know them, keep some of your information about yourself to yourself. Not everybody is trustworthy. So not only did you violate their boundaries when you shared with someone else that you were dating them, but you also violated yourself because you let them know what type of time you was on, and they like those characteristics about you. but they're not ready to invest, and they were never going to be ready to invest. It's almost like going to the store and seeing something that you really like and you know you can't afford it. So you put it on layaway. You put down a deposit and then you just stall it out until you can bring the item home. And that's kind of like what their plan was for you. They saw your heart. They saw your character. They saw the quality of person you were. They don't deal with no crappy women or men, you know, whatever, you know, I'm just conversing, right? They deal with, we talking about earth signs. When have you ever seen an earth sign not like quality? They recognized your pedigree and liked you because of it. But they were immature, unready, coming from a closed heart space, still processing their unresolved feelings and emotions from the last situation they was in. And they just jumped right out there and you became collateral damage to them. That's why they were able to walk away. Once you did something they didn't like, they said, no, I'm good. And it doesn't make sense because to you, everything was going well, but they were misleading you. They were intentionally misleading you. They liked you. They could tolerate you. And I know that sounds like I'm minimizing you, and that's not it at all. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I've heard so many men say, oh, I could tolerate her. Or they say, oh, I can't deal with her too long. I don't like her voice. She get on my nerves after 2 hours. I got to time box her. I've heard people say this. And I'm bringing this to your attention because they did not feel this way about you. That's how you got into this mess. Because you were so wrapped up in whatever they was offering, and they equally was wrapped up until they had that reminder that they was in too deep. They didn't want nothing serious like this. This wasn't their intention. They literally did not want to be in this situation. And that's how they got you. So Spirit, where does this Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces go from here? Where does this Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces go from here? Excuse me. As I previously mentioned, I am getting over, and y'all, please, I'm not trying to, you know, be political or anything like that, but please wear your mask. Flu no coco is going around. For your information, that's influenza A and B, norovirus, COVID-19, even though I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying that, as well as the common cold, and RSV is going around. And there is no cure for RSV. So make sure that you're washing your hands. Make sure that you are wearing your mask in public places because you don't want to get sick. These are not the viruses that we used to get and you'll be down for like 3 to 4 days, maybe 5 at the max, and you back up at it. No, this stuff is lingering around for weeks. I've been sick since December 18th. Anyway, so what's next for you? Well, we got the 9 of Cups in reverse. Okay. You are very disappointed that they're not going to oblige you by having this conversation. So I'm sorry. I regret to tell you this is a done situation. I know that you've been hoping for reconciliation and hoping for the opportunity to reconcile with them, at least have a conversation and talk about it. They're not with it. Okay. We also have the 8 of Wands here. Okay. In reverse. So that kind of substantiates the claim of what I'm saying. Like, this is not going to be a forward moving thing at all. Okay. This is where we are. Like, we're just, I hate to say it, but this is a barrier. Like this person said, the game is over. The game is over. No, they don't want to hear from you. Now is not the right time. What else does this mean for this Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio? Going back to, you have other options. You have other things to be focused on. With this 7 of Cups, you have other things to be focused on. I know you don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. It's the beginning of the year, okay? You can go out. You can go to the gym. You can find new hobbies. You can meet new social circles. You got a plethora of things that you could be doing. You have choices. You don't have to sit at home watching Good Times Not Another Day. You don't have to, and even if you do choose to sit at home, because I understand things are expensive. People are having difficulties with being able to, oh, thank you, Kristen. I know that, people are trying to find ways to save money because things are hard for people. And I get it. Even if you just want to sit at home, you got Netflix, you got Prime, you have, whatever the streaming service. YouTube even got free movies that you can watch. The point is you have options. Okay? You don't have to sit here and cry your eyes out wondering what happened to little John John. Because little John John was never going to be what you thought he was going to be. This was just a short-term situation. I regret to tell you. What else does this have to? Yeah. This was never going to work. This was never going to work. This was never going to go anywhere with this 3 of Pentacles. Spirit is saying, look at the options and the quality of options that you have. And stop focusing on what isn't working and start looking at what is working. Because you are a good person. You have good heart. You're a person of integrity. You have morals. You have values. You have beliefs. You're honest. You're dedicated. You're committed. You are all of these things. And if somebody can see what value you bring to the table and not value it and appreciate it and want to invest in it, then honey, they couldn't afford you to begin with. They was coming at you with some cheap labor, some cheap love, some cheap investment. That wasn't going to work. Ooh. The Lovers. The moment you stop focusing on this, you're going to find somebody else. And that's why Spirit said in the beginning of this reading, rushing. You can't hurry love. The right one is coming in divine, perfect timing. So Spirit is getting you now. Spirit is shaking you up now, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and saying, look, girl. Y'all know I get animated. Look, girl. If you keep focusing on what isn't working, you're going to miss out on what is working for you. And this is working in your favor. This is working in your favor. Somebody else is coming along. And it won't. Look, 3 of Swords in the bottom of the deck. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see, what other messages do Spirit might have for you? Let's see. Let's see. We're going to talk to Romeo and Juliet. All right, Romeo and Juliet. What messages do you have for this Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces in this new season of their life? What messages do you have for them? What messages of encouragement do you have for them? Y'all, I've been off the internet so long, my pixie done grew out. Y'all see that? Now I got ugly grandma here. All right, the Nurse, kindness, loving, realistic. You will fall backwards when you hast more wit. Will you not, Juliet? Though you will fall backward when you have more wit, will you not, Juliet? So anyway, the bottom line of what I'm saying is the message of encouragement that you're getting is you got the nurse. Okay. So again, I just gassed you up, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and here it is again. Your kindness, your loving nature, your down to earthness, your warmthness, the things about you that attract people to you is going to be the differentiator when it comes to this next person that's walking in your life. The very things that people have poo-pooed on you about, it's going to be the very things that's going to attract you to the next person that's coming in your life. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. And I'm going to be honest, just a little bit. We in my business, just a little bit. I had to make the decision this summer to finally cut off my earth sign. Angels, what messages do you have for this Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces in this next phase of their life? Chemistry. There is a strong magnetic attraction here. I'm telling you, there is somebody coming in your life. Get ready. This person that is coming in your life, baby, you're not going to have to beg them. You're not going to have to borrow. You're not going to have to do nothing. When I tell you this person that is coming in your life, when I tell you this person right here is going to be everything that you need, you're going to be over here looking at this other person like, what was I focused on all this time? When I tell you, you're going to be so happy that you moved on from this person, it ain't going to make any sense. So before I close this out, let's see if we can get some timing. Spirit, can you give us some timing of when this wonderful fantasy person is coming, this idea person? Can you give us some timing for when this person is coming? Siri, ain't nobody talking to you. Alexa, ain't nobody talking to you. Whichever one of y'all that was talking to me, nobody was talking to you. Okay. Spirit. When can we expect for this Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces to meet this new person? You have the power to create the timing by taking action now. Okay? So Spirit is telling you, you have the power to create the timing by taking action. How do you take action now? You start leaving this joker alone. You leave this person alone. Leave this person alone. Start working on your healing. Start focusing on yourself. Doing your self-reflection, processing. That loneliness is not a reflection of you. Well, let me rephrase that, because that sounds kind of crazy. It's okay to be lonely, right? Because you're being lonely for a reason. The things that have not worked out in the past is not a reflection of you. That's a reflection of the people that you've been around. Okay? So Spirit is telling me with that number 34, within the next 3 to 4 months, okay? Depending on you and how much you process and learn how to leave this other joker alone, because y'all know how Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, we be hard-headed. We just want to keep on keeping on until we keep on hitting our head and going through all of the negativity, right? Until we get tired of being tired. But that's going to be up to you to decide, how tired are you? And as you go up, remember, we got the ascension tension. This is a part of your growth. Okay, this is a part of your growth. You didn't see this coming. Oh, Lord. So this is positive, okay? Spirit has shown to us that we can choose clarity over chaos, and we do have a choice, okay? Spirit has definitely lit up the path, but it's up to you and your free will that comes into play, okay? You have the power to co-create your next chapter, and Spirit is literally reaffirming this for you right now, okay? Spirit is reaffirming this for you right now, all right? So let me ask you this. as we close out this reading, what is something that surprised you the most today? Was this confirmation? Okay. Was this something that revealed to you, something gave you some context for why things may be going the way that it's going? Let me know. I want you to let me know and tell me how you've been dealing with your healing on this journey, like how you've been also processing that as well. Okay. And then also, just out of curiosity, if you had a choice on how you could possibly, rewrite this outcome, what would you say? Like, what would you do? Because I mean, like, ain't nothing else to rewrite. Just close the chapter, right? So you definitely have that option. You definitely have that option. But I want you today to choose peace and clarity and love over all of this other nonsense that you have been dealing with, all right? I want you to be empowered. And I want you to know that the love that you deserve is out there. You just misgauged. You was off just a little bit with this joker. But remember, the enemy will send you counterfeits, okay? And this was a replica of what is to come. So if you thought this was good now, just imagine how good it's going to be when you get with that person that God really has for you. All right? Whew, y'all, that was something, okay? That was a journey, and I was not expecting that when we got up here an hour and a half ago. So I want to thank you so much for rocking with me. I am Mimi Lightseer, and thank you so much for tuning in to Pisces Tarot. If something hit you deep, I want you to put a heart in the chat and let me know what resonated most with you in the comments. Again, I am opening back up my books with personal readings. So if you want one, you can book one on my website at piscestarot.com. Please remember that I would never DM you for any readings. So please stay protected and book your appointment only through official links, okay? Now, one thing I want you to know, and two things for certain, especially in today's climate. Everyone is fighting a battle that you cannot see. So be kind, be gentle, and be forgiving, compassionate, and loving with others as much as you are yourself. How people treat you is not your business, but how you respond is. So make sure that you leave a little bit of love everywhere you go, and I will see you next time. Bye.